Hello, my name is Andrew Collins and I'm a telly addict. I've lived and worked in London for 30 years and I'll tell you what, it's not what it once was. In fact,
London sucks.
The BBC's former economics editor, Evan Davis, is pulling our leg, of course. His two-parter, Mind the Gap, which concluded on BBC Two last week, cast a weather eye over the way the nation's bloated capital is sucking the very life out of what we Cockneys arrogantly call the rest of the country.
This is the story of the economic forces polarising Britain. The story of London versus the rest.
Here then are some typical Londoners plucked at random.
I work as a consultant in the city.
I work in marketing for a TV company.
I am a knowledge manager, kind of like lead collaboration programmes.
None of them live in London, of course. It's too expensive, which is why it sucks, and why you can be tired of London but not necessarily tired of life. Evan Davis crunched the numbers and weighed up the pros and cons, but he mostly stood on high buildings for effect.
King's Cross.
This small piece of London is filling up with the world's best in art, in science and in technology. It is the kind of development the rest of the country would kill for.
Did you see the Guardian offices top right? Ah, here he is again.
If you're going to translate scientific discovery into useful applications, you need all sorts of...
Sorry, he was about to say skill sets. We'll have none of that sort of language round here.
The very things that have given London a gravitational pull in Britain are now sucking in foreign people and their money. Like here, Battersea Power Station. It's finally about to be regenerated by foreign money.
Graphs and graphics hammered home the point that Britain's economic London centricity isn't sustainable, which is what made part two, which explored the rest of the country, so airy and refreshing, unless, that is, you happen to live in Hebden Bridge in Yorkshire.
It is a bit of a mystery, Hebden Bridge. It was once declared the fourth funkiest town in the world. It's popularly rumoured to have more lesbians per head than anywhere else in the UK.
With all that to recommend it, and equidistant between Manchester and Leeds with good rail links, Hebden Bridge will surely by now be overrun with economic migrants and knowledge managers from London and heading for its own housing bubble.
It's a buoyant mix of creatives, cooperatives and entrepreneurs. It has over 500 independent businesses. And I find some of them more California than Yorkshire.
I hope the BBC have issued some sort of official apology to the good people of Hebden Bridge for ruining its gene pool. Apart from that, Mind the Gap was a swish, informative and smartly presented diptych that gave London yet more reasons to hate itself. Silicon Roundabout, anybody?
These higgledy-piggledy streets turn out to be great for networking, and they've now become where it's at for tech firms. Saul Klein is a tech-savvy venture capitalist who helped put Silicon Roundabout on the map.
Now, where have I seen that man before?
Not long now, Miss Hawkins. You'll be needed upstairs.
Mr. Grove from Mr. Selfridge, who was rocking the Shoreditch Pratt look 100 years ago. Now, let's travel far away from the capital. Shetland, successfully piloted last year, arrives for a 6-part series on BBC One, based on the books by Anne Cleeves. Imagine you could only reach Midsummer by boat. It had an actual geographical claim on Scandinavian influence. The local detective was played by the windswept and interesting Dougie Henshaw, and rounding up the usual suspects involved going from croft to croft.
Mr. Bean?
Not Mr. Bean, he said Mr. Bain, played by none other than Brian Cox, not that one. You have to roll with the accents.
Yeah, we found a body down by the beach. I was wondering if maybe you seen or heard anything.
I saw the birds. They'll pick the eyes out of a sickly lamb. Then you have to break its neck.
These are 2-part mysteries, the first effectively adapted by Gabby Chiappi from the novel Raven Black. So we're meant to think Bain as guilty as hell of the murder at this point. It's bleak stuff, but Shetland is not without its playful moments, such as the song playing on the pub jukebox.
Sorry. Can I talk to you?
And, I fervently hope, the significance of these 2 film posters put up by a pretentious media studies lecturer.
And what was she like?
Bright. And challenging. She could be hard work.
So she never came to this flat?
Having enjoyed Hinterland, aka Ygwyth from Wales, I'm all for a bit of regional reclamation of the Scandi Noir crown. You don't have to go to Copenhagen for bad weather and angst. And while we're about it, the nominees for TV's lowest tech police station are Death in Paradise.
I don't believe it.
Agreed.
And Hinterland.
Llofruddiaeth. Yeah, Lloyd. Llofruddiaeth.
But the winner is Shetland, where D.I. Henschel dreams of having a flip chart or a pinboard.
Time of death is between midnight on Sunday and 4 AM on Monday.
I think it's time for a laugh.
That was very good.
The funny thing is, Michael McIntyre, the very antithesis of the comedian's comedian, has been patted by BBC One into a new shape for the Michael McIntyre Chat Show. It was a low-key affair. Despite appearances to the contrary, it wasn't a chat show. Most of the chat with the three big star guests seemed to have been edited out in favour of the voluble nemesis of Stuart Lee having the time of his life. Honestly, you couldn't meaningfully object. The man has built a comedy empire as the middle-class Peter Kay, and he need never work again. Playing the competition winner in a toy shop won't wash forever, but for his first show, you had to let him off.
I didn't know what to do, Lily. I don't know what to do. I just went for the desk.
You're doing well.
Because I didn't want... these fake buildings I've got...
What are they made out of? Cardboard?
I don't know, actually. Oh, no, just said in my head, don't ruin it. So...
Lily Allen was the only non-embalmed guest. They also wheeled out Sir Terry and Lord Sugar to little avail, other than the excuse to show this incredible clip of Nicolas Cage from Wogan.
Welcome, Nicolas Cage.
That was in 1992, when Wogan was on live 3 nights a week. British chat will never see its like again. Now a quick Gogglebox interlude as the DFS gnomes demonstrate how to watch Top Gear without an ounce of metropolitan self-consciousness.
Stop! Put it down! You'll break the jib off the crane!
He just did the thing with it! You couldn't make it up, could you?
Gogglebox is public service television. Its participants might bitch, fall into self-parody and show off for the fixed cameras, but when you catch them off guard, enjoying populist TV for what it is, cynicism is not welcome on the sofa.
Oh my God. It's causing chaos.
It's all put on then.
It's not all put on.
Here then is a show where nothing is put on. Great canal journeys on Moor 4 with husband and wife thesps and lifelong bargees, Timothy West and Prunella Scales.
We're celebrating our golden wedding this year.
Yeah, 50 years. Feels more like 14.
I know.
We might be known as actors.
Basil?
But when we're not treading the boards, it's all hands on deck.
Cast off, please.
Aye, sir.
If you didn't want to stow away with the pair of them on their next idyllic canal trip after the first of these 3 episodes, there was something wrong with you.
We're determined to make the most of what we love, whilst we still can.
The PR for the series ensured that we all knew that there's something wrong with Prunella Scales, a very mild form of Alzheimer's. At 81 she's becoming forgetful, but clearly gave her consent for the sharing of what might have been a private matter.
Do I know where we're going or why we're going there? Well, sometimes I do. And sometimes I just want to watch the countryside slide by.
Any initial uneasiness I felt slid by. Hey, we're all ageing, and we all forget things. And we might all aspire to be more like Prunella Scales when we're 80.
It's easy to forget that Prue is the age she is, when she's so agile, leaping about the logs.
Thank you, darling. I can also steer if necessary.
A really well-judged programme, which our two hosts certainly won't be watching while they're on holiday.
No, we don't have Telly on board. Crosswords and games.
Yes, conversation.
Reading, yes. Drinks.
Your moment of zen this week comes from Channel 4's Astronauts Living in Space, a sort of Gravity without the CGI, built around astoundingly boring footage of daily life on the International Space Station.
The view out of here is just breathtaking.
If you look carefully, you can probably see the new car park at Hebden Bridge.
The Earth is so beautiful. The view of our home planet during the daytime gives me a completely different impression from the view at night.